Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ramakrishna Potluri. I, I work in Dangote Group in Nigeria, Lagos. We discuss about Central Master Data Governance project, which we implemented here. Dangote Group, I'm sure most of you are aware of Dangote Group. Dangote Group has a vision to provide basic needs and is the largest cement producer in Africa and has various other businesses uh, like sugar, salt, etc. Dangote is currently executing world's largest projects. Some of those are largest single train petroleum refinery in the world, world's second largest urea plant, world class petrochemical complex, 555 megawatt power plant in refinery and fertilizer complex to address the needs of the refinery and fertilizers, world class rice processing facilities across Nigeria, and rice and sugar farming in Nigeria. These are multi-billion-dollar projects, and some of these projects are very unique in the world manufacturing stage. What is the objective of our central master data governance project? Obviously, when you are executing billions of dollars of projects, we want to reduce any delays that might cause because of any of the operational issues, be it data or any other. Right. So reduction in lead time of procurement, reduction in the cost of our projects, and it will also become foundation for our digital platform. Everyone talks about digital platform. What is the core of the digital platform? Everything, everything, all the data, whether it comes from the devices or systems or from wherever they come from, what is coming? The data is coming, and then using this data to make business decisions or build new business models. That is digital transformation. So what is the key to do any of these activities? The data itself should be of good quality in a usable form. So some of the challenges which forced us to start this project were no master data. When we start a new business, obviously you don't have any data, right? So typically the procurement team or any of the teams start with the specifications, while the project equipment etc. will have the engineering team supply the data. The rest of the procurement will not have any data. So typically, the project executives keep supplying this data. Whoever needs something, they send their requirement with whatever specifications they have. So there is no standardized way of specifying the requirements. No price history, no quotation history, no procurement history. Obviously, there's no master data, and you will not have any history. Master data without full specifications, that is one of the major issues. Sometimes the requisitioners just send a photo. This is what I want. My machine is down. I need to rectify it. This is what I want. How do you do that? How do you procure the spares required like that? And there will be multiple discussions. You will ask vendors to come, and then everyone will have. There is an iterative mode in which the requirements are finalized, causing delays. Sometimes the requirement itself takes weeks. Requirement definition by requisitioners across departments, leading to acquisition without considering standards. So even if you want a common item, then each department, each requisitioner asks whatever they know already or they worked before. There's no question of standardization. Building of master data for new businesses take time and skill resources. Now, if you want to go and implement ERP, we were implementing world class ERP SAP S for HANA, and there was no data. So building a data which take time, and you also need skilled resources, right? So these are the challenges. So what are the opportunities which we have? The opportunities we are entering into so many businesses. So there is an opportunity to have a unique central master data across all these businesses. Not many groups in the world can boast of such a unique central master data. Standardize the way master data is defined. We can also standardize how it is defined. We can also standardize the items, taken items being procured or items that will be used in these businesses. Some data is common across group companies in some categories. So this is, we have to understand many of the items which are common can be used across the group companies. That means if one group company build the data, the other group companies can use, which makes it much faster to deploy SAP. And we can use standards like UNSPC implement, and of course it also paves the way to implement SAP for HANA with best business practices. And SAP for HANA is our digital platform for operations. These are all the initiatives which is possible. So what will be the benefits which we can get out of all these initiatives? This is the opportunity which we have. We can do aggregated buying. If your materials are standardized, you can do aggregated buying across the businesses, leading to better prices. You can verify, procurement teams can verify the prices across the business of the same item easily. Vendor wise business volumes or customer wise business volumes can be uh, taken easily because vendors are standardized. Clarity in specifications leading to faster procurement lead times. Standardization of assets help in effective management of consumables in space. Imagine, I mean, you take the same type of printer across departments and businesses for a specific usage. Then you can use the consumables, you can buy consumables in bulk. You can also use the spares, you can share the spares across businesses. There are a lot of opportunities there. While deploying SAP, we just take the existing data. I already told you. So the common data of one group company, I can take and use it in another group company. Vendor customer synchronization. So when you have the businesses, many of these businesses can be my vendor and customer. So when you synchronize vendor and customer data, you can set up balances, which makes easy to manage working capital. So what is the overall application architecture look like? The application architecture uses guided process and workflows so that users can specify, for example, a material easily with required specifications. So the key is we should be able to give correct specifications and full specifications so that procurement team or vendors will not have any confusion in what to supply, right? So typical enterprise master data, we standardize our accounts, materials, suppliers, and customers. The typical flow would be we have a decentralized maintenance and validation. So a requisitioner maintains the data which they need. If the data is already there, system prompts them so that they don't need to create new data. And the technical head of, for example, if a mechanical item is being maintained, the mechanical head can validate and say that okay, these specifications are fine. And then there is a central team which reviews it again and see that there is no all the data is maintained properly, and also there are no duplicates. Once again they check for any duplications and then approve and replicate to SAP systems in 6 businesses. We have 5 SAPs for systems, um, and the data is replicated to the respective businesses. If refinery wants certain materials, it is replicated to refinery. But later, when fertilizer wants the same material, they just extend. They don't create a new material. It saves a lot of time. One example of what do I mean by standard way and guided way of defining an item. For simplicity's sake, I've taken laptops. So a laptop is you cannot anymore order with this system. You cannot anymore order saying I want a HP laptop. what is a HP laptop? Do you want uh, what screen size you want, or what processor is okay for us, and what memory we will have, what disk size we'll have, what RAM we'll have, and what kind of laptop. Of course, the other aspect of some of these items are laptops are a standard item across businesses, right? Anyone can use it. So we also standardize the model specifications so that everyone can use. It is not that each requisitioner can choose whatever laptop they feel like. So it is standardized, so they can just choose the standard laptop which is already created. What are the challenges we face when you want to do across businesses common data? The first challenge is the apprehensions of what is the lead time it will take to create new data. When we showed that it does not take more time, it actually takes less time, then the management agreed and top management support and trust we got. The critical challenge, the biggest challenge is how do I how do I identify all the categories we might need and also parameters for each category, right? This is the biggest challenge because this is the content which is the core of the application, particularly for materials. While vendors and customers, we have the standard set, uh, and accounts we worked out the forms nomenclature. Materials is a big challenge because you need content, a proper content. We have an expert, Mr. Vikas Singh. He has vast experience in handling master data. He solved this problem by bringing in all his expertise and experience. And of course, you need a good application development team to realize that. And our SAP experts chipped in with all their expertise from SAP and based on their past experience, they guided us. So, what are the benefits? These are the benefits which we are realizing. One is better quality data, of course. Better quality data also reduce the lead time from weeks to days. As I said some time back, the requisitioning itself was taking weeks. So that came down with standardization. Clear and complete specs on standard items reduce equipment runtime. Right? Clear and complete specs is the most important aspect to get the right product, particularly in case of spares. If you don't get the right product, your equipment downtime will be much higher, right? And the other one which helped us is the standard items. So, as I said, if when I standardize the laptops or printers, for example, printers which need continuous replacement of consumables and spares, the when you standardize printers across departments and across businesses, you can share the spares. When a printer is down, you can share it from someone else who has the stock. Some master data are readily available, enabling us to implement SAP in less than 2 3 months. Most of our SAP implementations are less than 3 months because this is one of the reasons. When we implemented in refinery first, we built some data, and the common data which can be used across the businesses is taken and presented to the next business where we are implementing, for example, the upstream. And then whichever is relevant there, we just use those materials. So you don't need to start creating from scratch. That saves a lot of time. The costs, now costs you can guess. Impact of saving in lead times and project cost. Uh, I'll show you with an illustration later. Aggregated buying. So as I said, when we standardize on things like, for simplicity's sake, I will take IT items, printers or laptops or PCs, then I can do the aggregated buying across the businesses and have better discounts and better prices. Share common consumable spares in case of urgency, which we discussed. Elimination of duplicates, reduce inventory and unnecessary buying, obvious. Price visibility itself will help procurement team in getting better prices. Reduce dependency on proprietary vendors. Now, particularly this true, particularly for spares which are common spares. For example, things like uh, engine oil and greases, various types of greases, or uh, or say bearings. Uh, typically, typically these are proprietary items, but then you do not need to buy. I mean, it does not matter whether I buy either I buy one particular vendor's ball bearing of a certain size or not, right? So once you eliminate the dependency, then your costs will come down. Your space costs will come down dramatically. And of course, this good quality standardized data forms the core of my digital platform and SAP implementations as well. We start with this data for any further exploiting the data. Just to illustrate what kind of cost savings we get, think of 1 day delay, cost of 1 day delay in a $1 billion project, right? For every $1 billion, if you assume it's a 5% finance cost, which is per annum, right? The per day, if you save 1 day in the project, the benefit, the financing cost itself saved would be $137,000. Now we are executing tens of billions of dollars projects. Think of the savings which are possible. This is another one. I mean, some of you might be familiar with this illustration. A typical business scenario where you have sales and direct material spend and overheads, total expenses, let us say, and then what is the profit, right? If you spend 55% of material costs and 35% of overheads, you will have a profit of 10%. Now, if you reduce the cost by 10%, the profit will go up to 15.5, which is a growth of 55%, profit growth of 55%. If you increase your sales by 10%, then your profit will grow only by 10%. Yeah. So it's not always, of course, it can be slightly higher than 10% sometimes, depending on the break even point. If the raw materials and components or overheads are not, let's say overheads remain same 35, then you will have 3.5 more, right? This will be 14.5, then 45%. But still, cost reduction gives you direct bottom line impact without any additional efforts. Yeah. So now you can guess where we are in terms of the benefits of such a central master data governance project. Yeah. Thank you. I hope I tried to give this presentation more from the business point of view than the IT point of view, because I strongly believe that my role as a CIO is to look at the business results and business problems and business solutions rather than focusing only on IT and keeping the lights on. Thank you. Thanks to
Awesome.
CIO 100, CIO Africa 100 team. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Rama.
Enjoy your day.
Just before
I
you
see there
leave,
is a beach event in the evening, which I
hello.
miss. Enjoy. Thank you.